Honorable Justice Sharmila Deshmukh Madam, our guest of honor for today, Sujata Sarnaik Madam, who could not be here, who is the Chief Secretary of State of Maharashtra, Padma Shri Diana Edilji Madam, and Amrita Subhash Madam, National Award-winning actress, Advocate General Virendra Saraf Sir, Additional Solicitor General Anil Singh Sir, Senior Advocates, Seniors, and my dear friends. I extend a very warm welcome to all of you on today's function. It is a very special function because today I am seeing so many ladies in great numbers for today's function. It is a great pleasure today because we have our esteemed leadership to grace the function. In addition to that, we have our guests of honor who are not just from our fraternity but who are from various different fields. We will be honoring and felicitating our guests of honor. In addition to that, we will also be felicitating our senior lady members who have completed 35 years of practice in the profession, who are an inspiration and encouragement. We will also be felicitating Advocate Purnima Kantharia Madam, who is the government leader, original site, High Court, Bombay. As well as Neha Pide Madam, who is the government leader, Ritz Cell, Happiness Site, who have been representing the state of Maharashtra before the Honorable Bombay High Court. So the ladies are representing state of Maharashtra this year. Along with that, we also have two special mentions. Our senior members, Sharmila Kaushik Madam and Mankuar Deshmukh Madam, who have been appointed as members Kaushik Madam and Deshmukh Madam have been appointed as members of the POSH Committee of Bar Council of Maharashtra. It has also been a great year for women lawyers because 5 to 6 of our lady members have been designated as senior advocates. Advocate Manila Rao Madam, Advocate Seema Karnik Madam, Advocate Nita Karnik Madam, Advocate Deepa Chavan Madam, and Advocate Manjari Shah. So young lawyers like me are really very happy and very encouraged by all of you. I'm very appreciative. As we begin the function, I would request Prachi Katte Madam, Vice President AWI, to please welcome the judges. Madam, please welcome Honorable Justice Revati Mohite. I now request Madam to please felicitate the Honorable Justice Deshmukh. I now request Prachi Madam to please felicitate Honorable Justice Revati. Thank you. I now request Prachi Madam to please address the audience.
Namaskar and very good evening to all of us. Honorable Justice David, Honorable Justice Deshmukh, Honorable Justice Clay, Advocate General Shri Virendra Saraf, Anil Singh, the Additional Solicitor General for the state. It is extremely a happy moment to be celebrating the Women's Day. I think it's a celebration of the essence or the substance that we call the womanhood and something that makes us different from our counterparts. We are always so forgiving to ourselves and others that we tend to forget that we owe something to ourselves. So I think this is just a reminder of all of that and the strength, the unity that I see here in our bar room, where I've never seen so many women members And I think this is really a special occasion to receive and welcome all of you here. We all know that Shankaracha Adi now Gauriche, it's always Gauri Shankar or Lakshmi Narayan. And the same way when we invite, we say Mrs. and Mr. So nobody can deny the 23rd set of chromosomes that we have that sets us apart. So I think this is a celebration of womanhood and a reminder to all of us that we have something different, we have the ability to make it different. In the olden times, I remember they used to say, जिच्या हाती पाळण्याची दोरी ती जगते उद्धरी. आणि आज आपल्याकडे ज्या सगळ्या आल्या आहेत, we've invited specifically women from different walks of life. We've invited Srimati Sujata Saunik, who is the first lady chief secretary. Although she's been superseded a few times, but finally she is the first lady chief secretary. Unfortunately, due to her last minute work commitments, she couldn't make it here. But nevertheless, the RV is felicitating her, and I have to mention her. The other guest that we have today is Padma Shri Diana Elergy. And the National Award winning actress Amrita Subhash, who was one Maharashtrian who's gone to the Oscars, and really proud about her. We aim to spread this infectious vibe of womanhood, and the backbone of all is, all the ladies in every household. We celebrate the ability to work positively in spite of all odds, be the inspiration of each other and achieve the best at all times, and grow with the help of each other. And who better than multitaskers, I think. I was recently reading something, and I found that the trend for women recruitments has really gone exponentially high. So the MNCs, besides checking your academics and your IQ, what they now see is the EQ of a candidate, because that sets you apart. You're thinking on your feet, the ability to get out of a situation, thinking out of the box. Most of the MNCs are concentrating on those kind of things rather than just the academics. And I think probably that is the reason why the women members are recruited more all across the globe. This also reminds me of one of the incidents, and I was probably watching a YouTube video when our former Chief Justice, Chandrachud sir, he said that sharing a bench with a lady judge gave him a different perspective. She lent him a different perspective, and I thought that was a big deal to say on the bench itself, because its matters can be decided, but to have the ability to think differently or to lend a different perspective, I think that is what a womanhood, or that is what I can say, that women can think differently, and that matters the most. Today we are also here to aim that gender equality and gender sensitization is done all across. It is not a thing that women do not or are not capable of occupying a particular field. We've seen women in all different fields, but it is our endeavor to make it an accepted norm and to have a level playing field. We felicitate today such icons who have not just arrived in their professional destinations and seek more, but congratulate and celebrate their journey so far. Celebrate by listening to their achievements and soak in ourselves with their inspiration and positivity. Certainly it must not have been without some shortfalls or shortcomings of womanhood, because we all deal with it day in, day out. But it is ultimately coming out shining and standing tall in spite of all the odds. And that is our strength, I think, which again I would say is womanhood. Again, we are here to celebrate the ability to conquer the pain and walk ahead and stand tall. Before we continue with our felicitation function, I request our Advocate General, Dr. Saraf, to say a few words.
Good evening to all of you. Justice Devi, Secretary, Ms. Amrita Subhash, my dear friends. in an all-women's event, it looks like there should be some man celebrating womanhood, as they say. So here I am. It's my absolute pleasure and honor today to be here when we are celebrating the growing strength of women in India. And what a better way to do that than to acknowledge the accomplishments and achievements of women who, by their sheer determination and resolve not to be cowed down, crossed every obstruction of societal prejudice and achieved excellence and prominence in their field. And what do I speak about the guests of today? Their accomplishments are such that any praise from me would seem only insignificant. They hold positions from which they not just inspire others, but are helping in shaping the destiny of the society and the nation as a whole. All I can do is to express my deepest admiration and respect for them. And I compliment the Epilepsy Association for arranging this event, because events such as this really serve as a reminder to all women of their inherent strength and ability to achieve every possible height. And today I would like to proudly present some statistics before you all. As Prachi already mentioned, the highest officer of the state of Maharashtra is a lady. But we forget that the police force in Maharashtra is also led by a lady. The struggles of women in the legal profession are different and unique, and we are all aware of it. And we need to acknowledge it. But I would like to place some facts before you all. Today, in the High Court, amongst all the government leaders that we have, which are over 150, nearly 46% of our government leaders in the High Court are women. And if I add up Nagpur and Aurangabad also together, 40% of all the government leaders in the High Court are women. And what a force they are. All I can say is God alone save you if they are women. And it's not only the High Court. Very recently, 2 or 3 months back, the state had a recruitment for prosecutors through the MPCB. And what would be the figures? Out of 514 prosecutors selected, 250 were women, nearly 50%. And did they earn this position because of any concession? No. They rubbed shoulders with their male counterpart and got selected on merits. And therefore, I've always felt that this term, women empowerment, is really not a correct term. Because I firmly believe that women are empowered enough by themselves. They don't need to be empowered. What we need to give is only an equal opportunity and a level playing field. And if that is available to a woman, if we give an equal opportunity and level playing field to a girl child from her childhood, then she needs nothing further. She will prove it on her own rights, on her own merits. It's evening, I'll not take too much time for you all. But I would like to share with you all a Hindi poem which I have always used as a source of motivation for myself. But when I revisit it, I find that it applies much more to a woman. And I've taken a liberty of making a little changes in it. So I'll just narrate it to you all. I've always used it whenever I felt low. मुट्ठी में कुछ सपने लेकर भरकर जेबों में आशाएं, दिल में है अरमान यही, कुछ कर जाए, कुछ कर जाए। सूरज सा तेज नहीं मुझमें, दीपक सा जलता देखोगे। सूरज सा तेज नहीं मुझमें, दीपक सा जलता देखोगे। पर अपनी हद रोशन करने से तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे? तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे? इस जग में जितने जुल्म नहीं, उतने सहने की ताकत है। तानों के भी शोर में रहकर सच कहने की आदत है। मैं सागर से भी गहरी हूँ, तुम कितने कंकड़ फेंकोगे? मैं सागर से भी गहरी हूँ, तुम कितने कंकड़ फेंकोगे? चुन चुन कर आगे बढ़ूंगी मैं, तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे? तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे? छुप छुप कर सीधी खड़ी हुई, अब फिर झुकने का शौक नहीं, अपने ही हाथों रची हुई, तुमसे मिटने का खौफ नहीं। तुम हालातों की भट्टी में जब जब भी मुझको झोंकोगे, तुम हालातों की भट्टी में जब जब भी मुझको झोंकोगे, तब तब कर सोना बनूंगी मैं, तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे? तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे?
Thank you, sir. Indeed, your words are always inspiring, and that is the reason I say we cannot have a function without you speaking a few words. Also, kab tak rokoge? We are the army, we are the force. It's only that sometimes we are laid back and lazy, but of course, I can say with the two GPs that are present here and yourself, and I've been working with the office of the government leader, I know what kind of support you lend us, and we are really truly grateful for that, sir. Coming back to our since Ms. Madam Sonik is not here today, I'll just read out a few things about her, and we start with the first lady chief secretary, who is Srimati Sonik, an officer of the 1987 IS batch. She comes from a family of IS. There are quite a few IS members from her family, but that did not stop her from making her own identity. She was appointed as the chief, at the post of chief secretary in the year 2024, and she was a gold medalist. She did her education and graduation and a master's in history from the University of Punjab and Haryana, and she was a gold medalist there. Madam Sonik began her career as a collector in Aurangabad and later worked as the collector at Jalgaon Municipal Commission and also the Municipal Commissioner at Nashik. She was in the United Nations, she worked as an interim administration. She was on a mission to Kosovo. She was on deputation to the United Nations and worked as a municipal administrator, heading international team of officers from various countries to help reconstruction and rehabilitation of the war-torn province, that was Yugoslavia. She was also specially deputed to the US mission in Cambodia to help in voter registration, because that was the first democratic election in Cambodia. She was then appointed as the additional chief secretary, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. She was also the principal secretary of Public Health and Financial Reforms in the state of Maharashtra. Madam Sonik was the key strategist in financial reforms in Maharashtra and played a crucial role in determining monetary policies. Her erudite sense of administration has seen her go through the major changes in the fiscal policy, and the responsibility that she has taken for that is immense. She has monitored expenditures on various departments, be it the agriculture or irrigation, industry, and so on and so forth. We appreciate her initiating the special campaign on right to womanhood and right to motherhood through her health workers and networks through the media. It was followed by a special campaign on child survival, growth and development. Her first ever comprehensive policy on maternal and infant and young child nutrition was being led by Public Health Department under her leadership. She has also served 4 years as advisor to the Joint Secretary NDMA, that is the National Disaster Management Authority, Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India, and has handled a range of responsibilities from office administration to setting the agenda at the PM. She's also been the chairman and authority in the advisory board and handled training international deployment of the National Disaster Response Force, that is NDRF, and was also appointed with the United Nations for international research and organization for prevention of chemical weapons. More than anything, my interaction with her was so cordial, and some things, if I could share, that she is absolutely gracious enough to say that, there have been not just her, but so many women, even as the IS officers, all of them have made up their mark, and this is also a tribute and a felicitation to all of them. We of course miss Miss Souli today, and we will continue with the program with felicitating Padma Shri Diana LLG. She honors not only the awardee of the Padma Shri, but also the winner and awardee of the Arjuna Awards. She's a cricket legend and made her mark not only in the Indian cricket history, but she has done it internationally. Madam, we are so proud of you. I'm told by Renkar sir that she's a passionate sports person and her spirit is equally high in that regard. She grew up playing cricket with a tennis ball and at the railway colony where she lived, and she went on to play basketball and table tennis at a junior national level, which is also very commendable. And before switching to cricket, this was her forte, is what I'm told. She's a trained cricket. She got trained in a cricket camp hosted by Test cricketer Lala Amarnath, and went on to play for the Railways. Then she became the Indian cricket team's captain and a successful slow left-arm orthodox bowler. I don't know what that means, madam, but certainly I'm going to be watchful about this now, because if a woman can be a fast bowler, I mean, it's something we have. Left-hand spinner, okay, I learned that from you. She played her first series in the year 1975, but till date, she's in active cricket fields, training all her, the next generation. It was in 1978 that she became the first cricket captain. She remains to be the third highest wicket taker internationally in Test series. She holds record of an Indian taking highest number of wickets in women's Test cricket, and she remains, I've already said that, internationally she has made her mark, which is very commendable. She holds the record for delivering the most balls by any woman cricketer. I think this is... She has to her credit having finished 120 international wickets. Sabki chutti kara do, I mean, this is great. I don't know why she's not a lawyer, you should be here too. Madam Diana was the first Indian women's cricketer to be awarded the benefit match, and our Honorable Supreme Court has appointed her on the BCCI administration panel in the year 2017. Again, the first woman to be appointed to the BCCI selection panel. In the year 2023, she was inducted into the ICC Cricket Hall of Fame. But madam, there is something that I heard that you refused to enter the pavilion in London then. And what was the MCP thing? And we would all like to know, but definitely we would want to hear it from you. May I request Honorable Dere to kindly felicitate Diana.
Very difficult, but first of all, I'd like to thank the Association of Advocates here for inviting me here and felicitating me. What all has been spoken already, I don't know from where she's got all that history, but I'm sure it is Mr. Prashant Redekar, who I've grown up with. I played a lot of cricket with him. His sister used to play with me also. And I've been a regular visitor to their house during Gandhavi. So that's how I know him, and he's been a great friend right through those early 75 years from 1975 onwards. I'm very nervous sitting near the judges. So, normally I'm not that. Yeah, I think just the second or two will take. So, it's okay. Normally I don't get scared of umpires either. Anyway, well, my journey has been a long one. 1975 to 95, I played for international cricket, and up to 2000, I played domestic cricket. Now, I was a left-arm spinner, man. It's called left-arm orthodox. So that's normally what it is. And my idol was Bishan Singh Bedi, who was also a left-arm spinner. And our beginning days was very difficult. The men cricketers did not accept us very easily. Snide remarks were passed that women should be in the kitchen and not on the playing field. But we took that as a challenge. We went ahead, we made a mark for ourselves. We had a lot of crowd coming in. I don't know whether they were coming in to watch the cricket or watch the girls. But that was a good sign for us. And it was, unfortunately for those two cricketers, I won't name them, but they're very big cricketers. They came as chief guests for a function, for a game where we were playing. They did not realize they had made those remarks. So when these functions started and speeches were going on, I was known as a rebel. You know, I would always speak my mind out. Sorry. And I would not tolerate any nonsense. So whether it was anything, whether it was with the administration, whether it was with the association, with anybody. When they got up to make their speeches, I got up also and I said, I'd like to say something before you speak. I said, you'll owe us an apology before you start giving us the awards. You have made these remarks and they apologize. And now I've been working with them very nicely and we get along very well. And this is the thing. BCCI, when they took over in 2005, when the merger took place, it was very difficult. BCCI did not want any women to be, in their cozy club. And it was very difficult with the merger. In 2005 it happened. And till then it was very difficult for us because we had no funds. We were traveling, Indian team traveled unreserved in trains. We slept near the toilets, we played on ordinary grounds. But it was a challenge for us, it was the passion for the game. We laid the foundation and today the tree is grown so beautifully. So we are not worried about that. When the merger did take place, of course, it was Mr. Sharad Pawar who saw to it and convinced the other board members to go through with it. And today, with BCCI getting into trouble, I'm sure the Supreme Court must have thought differently. They appointed me as a committee of administrators to run the BCCI. And I was the only woman player, whether from the male side or the women's side. So that was a great honor for me and for the game itself, that they have recognized whatever I have done in the field of sport. And I was very happy to be nominated. Mr. Vinod Rai, the former Controller Auditor General, was the chairman. Mr. Vikram Limaye was there. Ramchandra Guha was there. It was a 4-member committee. And we ran BCCI for 33 months. So it was a very nice stint. Of course, now, after that stint, it is very difficult to get into the BCCI office because I rubbed a lot of wrong shoulders. But we were very happy. I never felt so, tensed in the Supreme Court as much as the people here. It was very free, there I used to love going and listening to the hearings when we were there. But it was a nice journey. It was absolutely perfect. I had a long journey with the railways also. I was an administrator there. I was a sports officer. And I ran 42 games there. So that helped me in my BCCI stint. And till today, I'm now with also Mumbai Cricket Association as an advisor for the cricket. And we've been doing very well. Mumbai Cricket Association is doing very well. And I'm glad at least they have now started recognizing the women and taking a lot of women cricketers. The constitution that we framed, because we were given the task of framing the BCCI constitution, we insisted that every state association had to have a woman on the committee while they're taking decisions. And that was passed by the Supreme Court, not liked by many others of the BCCI because they never wanted. It was very difficult even in board meetings. I was the only woman there and it was very difficult to break the ice, but I stood my ground and till I got my way, I would never give in. Women cricketers were not treated very well. They would hardly get any match fees or anything. But I saw to it that the past cricketers also, the one-time benefit which was there, it was only for the male cricketers. I got it done for the women cricketers. The pension was passed for the women cricketers. Even for the current Indian team, traveling by business class, staying in five-star hotels, single rooms, all that was passed when I was running BCCI. So that was the contribution I gave to them, and I'm very glad that the women cricketers today are playing very, very well. Unfortunately, we are not able to get that ICC trophy which I'm dreaming of, and I'm sure one day we have the World Cup coming up very shortly in October in India. I hope we are able to emulate the men and get that trophy also. Under 19, we've done it twice. We got the World Cup twice. But the seniors, I would like them to win. I'm sure they will be able to with the blessings of our country. Otherwise, it's been a nice journey. The awards keep coming, and when felicitations like this keep coming and they think of the old people, it's very, very nice. So I'm very, very thankful.
Women's Day functions, I remember some of our former lady judges and also Justice Gabriel being missed there that the attributes of women, so the Ranaragini पण असते आणि ती मायेची मूर्ती पण असते. But same way it is ultimately, that is the reason I said, and like sir said, ultimately we remind ourselves of what can be, what we can do, not limit ourselves to the kitchen. And did we listen to the such remarks? No, we did not. Amrita Subhash, she is the recipient of a National Film Award and a nominee at the Oscars. She has received both the National Award and the Filmfare Award for a beautiful movie, Astu. She has won various other awards, including awards like the Crystal Bear at the Berlin International Film Festival, the Fedora Award at the Venice Film Festival. She has done numerous critically acclaimed films that have won various awards around the world. She is a trained dancer, a trained classical singer, and has also won awards as a playback singer. She has won accolades such as the Maharashtra government's State Award for the film Mithal, and she is a very well-known theatre personality. She is on her debut directing a play, Marathi play, and that is in the theatres now. She has graduated from the National School of Drama and has studied under the renowned director, actor Satyadev Dubey. At a very young age, not only did she accept the challenge of being in the shoes of a very senior and well-known actress, Bhakti Barve, in the Marathi play Teen Fularani. And not just that, she's made her mark there successfully in Teen Fularaniचा तो एक काय म्हणायचं आला की एकांकिका तो आला की अमृताचंच नाव आता येतं असं मी प्राऊडली म्हणू शकते. The play was written by none other than पु ल देशपांडे, त्यामुळे ती भाषा पण इतकी फ्लोरल आहे आणि खरंच आज मला खूप टेम्पटेशन आहे, but I will restrain there. She is equally known on the OTT platforms and the Netflix series, and in her career spanning about 2 decades or less than that, she has over 26 films, n number of plays, lots of series on the OTT platform as well as the television. She has kicked back into action after a brief struggle and illness, and she has written a book on mental health. So that is very interesting, and I'm sure that we can have one episode because the challenges that women face is more or less the same across the globe. So ultimately we have to overcome. Shwas is one of her very, very famous movies, and she's also being awarded for that. Of course, she says that Shwas is in theatre and it has rejuvenated her after every single play that she does. It gives her the oxygen. So no matter how, that's exactly what most of us see, that you're not keeping well, but coming back to court you feel fine, we're doing good. Maybe we'll go back and complain at home, but here when we are there in court, we're really happy about it. I request Deshmukh Madam to kindly felicitate Amrita Subhash. And today here I see all these beautiful women in that sense as well, starting from you, the most beautiful. Because you have chosen your own path, and as you were saying, there were so many difficulties, and the way you fought them and the way you are inspiration to all of us today. And even all of you have your own story. I always say that every human being is a film in itself. I get word like that, like every human being is a film. Every human being has that journey. When I look back to my own journey, it has been, I have been my own defender, I was my own lawyer, but now I have promoted myself to become my own compassionate judge. because this Gulami I'm talking about is also external, but many times it's also internal. And as you were mentioning about the mental journey I have gone through, I think all of us, are going through that journey, and sometimes self-connect is challenging, and so in my own journey there were many gulamis like that, many jails I had created for myself because of my mental ups and downs, especially when in my field we play with our vulnerabilities, because it's acting and we have to empathize with that character. So that's our content, that's our tool, I would say. So I did a role in a film called Shastri Viruddh Shastri. I played a lawyer, and I went and I had to, I made Paresh Rawal cry there when I'm interrogating. So I went to family court in Bandra, and I was observing what's happening there, and I felt like saluting all of you. When I stood there, because I was not only observing your mannerisms, I was, of course, as a as an actor, I have to go inside and I have to imagine what's going on inside. So it was a family court, so of course I saw some n number of divorces and what all was happening there. And you know, it is said that there is a woman behind every successful man. There has been a man behind my success, and that man is here called Sandesh Gupta. So I went back to him after this one day at court, and I told Sandesh, God forbid we are not going to separate, but if we do, we are not going into the court because it will be mutual, you know, because it was so depressing to just witness that, you know, and you are going through it every day, of course, but so I really felt that what it must be going on inside, you know, I started imagining that. I thought that, you know, I have been thinking about my own mental health, I've been thinking about my own de-stressors. I really urge you all, I don't know, but I hope you all have your own de-stressors, like, you know, because I just came from Jahangir Art Gallery, which is like right here, and Surya Patwardhan's big exhibition is going on there, and it was so distressing for me, and I thought that, you know, you must be doing that. I mean, but I really urge you to find out that, because in my own journey of becoming, promoting myself from becoming my own lawyer to my own compassionate judge, there has been my psychotherapy. It has been my, I've openly written about it in my book called Ek Ulat Ek Sulat. Because I think, you know, physical ups and downs, we go to a doctor just like that, because it's like, yeah, bukhar aaya to jana hai. But I see many of my friends struggling with their mental illnesses just because of that taboo, that, oh no, why are you going to a therapist? Are you mad? Like, you know, so we are still fighting with that taboo, and I would really, I'm urging all my friends to just it's not something, it's not a weakness, and I have been on therapy like for many years now, and it has helped me so much. It's a science, and it's giving me many tools to deal with my vulnerability. It's giving me many tools to, you know, retain my strength or make me self-connected. Many books have helped me. I would mention a book called Self-Therapy, in which there is a concept where we all have a family inside. We have small children, at the same time we have a self inside, and there are self qualities like calm, compassionate, curious, and you know, there's a list of all these things there. So all these things have helped me, and I really wish that all of you find your stress busters, and I'm really thankful to Prachi for giving me this opportunity to interact with you. And many characters have given me many things. Many characters have given me strength. So I would like to end my conversation with you with a character. Her name is Manjula Savalke, and she comes from Eliza. She is the Marathi version of Eliza Doolittle, which is my Farragut's Marathi version. You know why I love her? Because she's a very, very poor woman, Phulwali, and she doesn't have money, but her dreams are big. Her dreams are big, and you know, I myself had many complexes as a human being. Like in my school, I remember that one of my teachers one day said that, you know, I wanted to take part in the folk dance. But then my teacher has said, "But tu gori nahi hai, sari ghari nahi hai. But tu goria ghara mulina me dance मध्ये घेणार." So I'm like, oh, but look at my dance ना, माझा dance मध्ये ना तुम्ही. So अशा अनेक complexes मधनं मला मंजुळाने बाहेर काढलं. because मंजुळा, even if she's poor, she's confident. तिची भाषा जरा खेळ वळायचं चालतंय का इकडं? तुम्ही सगळे लई मोठे लोक आहे. तिला असं वाटतं की भाषा कुठली पण असली तरी तुम्ही स्वप्न लई मोठे बघा. तुम्ही सगळे जे आहात, म्हणजे तिला तुम्हाला असं सांगायचं की तुम्ही लई मोठी स्वप्न बघा. तशी तिने बघितली. तर तिचं एक गाणं आहे, तिची भाषा जरा अशी असली तरी तुम्हाला कळेल, मला असं वाटतं. मला वरिष्ठाच्या
अगं बाई, समजलंय. हे सगळे बाई बघितलं होतं लई हुशार असतात. काय सांगितलंय? शापित नाही हो, शाप. मला पोरीष्टाच्या शापा मुल्या बाई गठुऱ्याच मला पोरीष्टाच्या शापा मुल्या बाई गठुऱ्याच काचच्या मागं उभं राहून शेरी फुलं इकायची हे मला पोरीष्टाच्या शापा मुल्या बाई गठुऱ्याच का म्हणतं माहितीये का तिथल्या पोरी कशा किसकिस 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 मंजू ती लिपस्टिक लावतात ना तुम्ही बी लावली बघ हे. सगळ्यांनी नवी लावली लिपस्टिक. तसं व्हायचंय मला तिथल्या पोरी कशा किसकिस किस आणि किसकिस मध्ये इंग्लिश लँग्वेज असते ना. मी लई बोलत होते आता. तिथल्या पोरी कशा किसकिस 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 मंजूळ बोलत्यात चकापका 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 दिसत्यात अशा साडी बिडी तुमच्या साडी तिथल्या पोरी फ्लोरिस्टच्या पोरी ज्या असतात ना चकापका 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 आणि अशा काय ते लावतात ना पाहुण्याला पण चकापका 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 दिसत्यात मला पोरीष्टाच्या शापा मुल्या बाई गं होय होय बाई गं हा बाई गं तुझ्याच
moment I forgot that I have a job to do and so in Brazil it was absolutely wonderful. Of course it is स्वप्न नाही बघितलं तर नाही चालत. स्वप्न बघायचीच असतात आणि ती मोठीच बघायची नाही खरी आली तर ठीक आहे पण स्वप्न न बघणं हा पाप आहे. All of us are here and the kind of energy that you put into this evening is phenomenal and I think that there shouldn't be anything more I say and I just ask Gunjan to give the vote of thanks.
I'm so sorry. I think Rajesh
A little carried
a
away.
little still in that drama.
Okay, we understand.
I am also now scared to speak Marathi, but I will a little bit of that I'll take. थोडंसं मराठी, थोडंसं English, but with the help of all, I will come back to the legal fraternity, and now we will felicitate the females from our fraternity. I will start with our two prestigious government leaders. I will start with Purnima Kantharia Madam, who has been first appointed as government leader OS in 2015 and second time she has been appointed. Her career as an advocate started in 1987 and in 1989 she was appointed as the assistant government leader Appellate State High Court. From November 1995 to 2015, she has appeared on the criminal side as an assistant public prosecutor. She had very famous cases like twin bomb blast, Gateway of India and Zaveri Bazaar, death confirmation, matters of Tada, Kota, Mocha, etc. Before she took, and it was a total change, and we can imagine, like totally from criminal side to original side. Advocate Neha Bhide has completed her formal education from Nagpur. She has got a distinction in SSC and first class in HSC. She received a bachelor's degree and LLB degree from Nagpur University. Not only that, she has completed her certificate course in international arbitration from University of Netherlands. Ma'am has been a legal practitioner for last 27 years in civil and criminal litigation. She has been also empaneled with the Director of Enforcement since 2017 and has been on the panel of National Investigation Agency since April 2024. She has been an assistant government leader for the state of Maharashtra for last 13 years from 2009 and today she leads the government office RIT cell for state of Maharashtra.
at times I feel it's been a long journey. But for people who have completed 35 years, I'm sure it's been a very long but still memorable and a different experience. And I don't know, I don't have words to justify, but it is seriously very inspiring to see everybody who has completed today 35 years of life. And I would like to felicitate all those females, starting with Ms. Shakuntala Mudvedri. I will request the ASC to give the honor to Ms. Shakuntala. 35 years, some of us are just passed out. We have just started the journey. We should take this as a job. Advocate Anita Cassidy.
I only want to say thank you for felicitating me for remaining in this profession for 35 years and reminding me that I've grown old in the profession.
Advocate Shubhangi Barve. She said she will try, but I believe she has not been able to make it. Advocate Shubhada Kaur. Years of happiness.
Many, many more.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry, but we'll go ahead. May I the next? Advocate Leela Vai. May I request Leela to take time? There's no you might know her as Akshay Pai's mother.
Earlier I was known as Veena Vaidya, then Veena Vai. Now I'm known as Akshay Pai's mother.
Now may I request Advocate Deepa Chauhan. Please join. This is a special occasion for us this year with senior counsel and 35 years of practice. May I now request our President to do the honors for Ms. Vimana Bhattacharya. I did not believe that her name was there. When I saw the list, Vimana, she hardly looked so young. She looked like 20, 30 years old. I told you she has completed 35 years. Advocate Disha Kejriwal, ma'am. Advocate Gitanjali Kulkarni, she has also completed 35 years, but she couldn't come here personally today. So Advocate Ashwini will collect the felicitation on her behalf.
Thank you so much.
So thank you so much.
All the best.
Advocate Urmila Sahil also couldn't make it due to some personal difficulty. So Ms. Siddhi Patel will be collecting on her behalf. I have one sad news also. We had one lady, Advocate Dun Chavagar, who had completed 35 years last year, but she unfortunately passed away last year itself. But with all
Can you name the person
thanking
again?
us, yes, her husband is here.
Can you name the advocate?
Dun Aspi Chavagar. So sir was very sweet enough to come here today to accept the
पोलीसच्या साईडला जाईल पोलीस साईडला असायची जस्ट पास्ट पण 15 days back फोटो
As Siddhi had said in the start of the program, that we have two special guests today who have been specially appointed as the presiding officer and member of the POSH committee appointed by the Bar Council of Maharashtra. May I please request Ms. Sharmila Kaushik to come ahead. Pleasure for AAWI. Our members are appointed on the POSH committee. Advocate Mankaur Milind Deshmukh, she is appointed as the member but she couldn't come today. And one special mention here, Advocate Shushma Bende from the AGP With this, we have completed the list of 35 plus practitioners. And I'm sure all of us are little hungry. But this choice is with you all people. Either you want to play a small quiz and earn some prizes, or would you like your snacks? I will do as you people say. Okay, I see those reactions and there is a third option that we enjoy both the things together. I will enjoy the snack boxes and I will play the quiz, and those who will give the correct answer will receive some more gifts. Am I audible to everybody? Since the persons are coming, I'm sure the volume will go down. Okay, to start with, who was the first president, Prime
अरे वो कैसे ना आई कांट
But do we know who was the first woman governor of an Indian state? Do anybody heard of that? The first woman governor of an Indian state. Somebody please raise their hand. Sorry, ma'am, wrong answer. Does anybody here? I am okay if any chairs also answer. I am ready to make the answer. Shiva ma'am has got it right. In space, who was the first Indian woman to go in space? I can see the hand raised from the Can you please come and take it? I got the answer. It is Kalpana Chawla. Yes, sir, you can. Who was the first Indian woman to win a Nobel Prize? Who was the Who was the first Indian woman to win an Olympic prize?
Madam,
Yes.
No, no. 90 weightlifting. No, no. Weightlifting. What's the name? Weightlifting.
Who was the best? And she got it right, please. Her name is Karna Maheshwari, 2000. She got a bronze in weightlifting. We have lot of firsts. And who was the first Indian woman to climb the mountain? Mount Everest. Yes, that's a perfect and correct answer. Yay.
Announce the answer after the answer. Announce the answer.
Yes, yes, the answer was Lachendra. We missed one officer of the state today, who is the chief secretary. Who was the first Indian woman IPS officer of That was quite easy, I guess. Woman judge of the Supreme Court of India.
Sujata Mani.
Just what Laila said, Anish Kumble taking 10 wickets in a test cricket. But do we know who has taken 10 wickets? A woman cricketer who has taken 10 wickets in a test match. Woman. She is not of the current era, but you will that much right. There has been a female who has taken 10 wickets in a test match. She is an Indian. I am asking questions only about Indian sports. Anybody? Anybody? We have a female, first Indian, who took hat-trick in international cricket.
Julan Goswami.
Yes, actually, you got it right. That is Julan Goswami. Yes, we just heard her. She was the first female who received the Padma Shri Award for cricket in India.
मी पण बोलतो.
All three formats. The test match, ODI and T20. Can I have an answer for that? Who is the only Indian? Yes, you got it right. The answer is Bihari Raj. Who was the first Indian woman to win a Miss Universe title?
ऐश्वर्या राय.
Yes.
ऐश्वर्या राय.
The answer is Sushmita Sen, 1990. But do we know who was the first Indian film director? Woman film director. Do we know who is the first Indian woman film director? No, we know Sushmita Sen, but we don't know the first woman film director. The answer is Fatma Begum, and she directed the film in 1926. That only we have had female directors. Coming back, some more sports. Who we know was the first Indian woman grandmaster in chess? Do we know the grandmaster? Anybody in chess? One more time. The first Indian woman. Should I give out the answer? The first Indian woman grandmaster in chess, Onenu Humphrey, who got it in 2002.
ऑलरेडी जिंकलो
But still very good. Who was the first Indian woman to fly an aircraft, solo aircraft, fighter aircraft, was solo driven by her?
गुंजन वसेना.
She was not a fighter. She could get Sakrana.
शासकाचा.
Okay, no, but we have not got it right. Who was the first woman to fly a fighter aircraft solo? Anybody? So I'm going to take that chocolate note myself because her name is Avni Chaturvedi. Okay, Avni Chaturvedi, who flew it in 2008. Okay, we did get around to Miss Universe, but do we know who was the first Indian woman to win Miss World title? First Indian woman to win Miss World title. Yes, ma'am, I got it right. Kaushik ma'am has got it right. Her name is Rita Maria. She got it in 1966. Rita Maria in 1966. Okay, this is the last one. We ranked number 1 in ICC ODI batting.
Mithali Raj. Sandhya Agarwal. Sandhya Agarwal.
But since both of you have received, I'm going to take the floor. The answer is Mithali Raj.